Okay, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started with the webinar. We're going to do introductions first, and then I'm going to do the information, the presentation about STEP, and then I'm going to let the students that we have share a little bit about their experiences in STEP, and then we'll go to questions. You can either type a question in the chat, or if you raise your hand, I will open it up for you to talk. So I'll start. My name is Christina Martin. I am the Assistant Director of Student Programs in the SEED office. I am also the Director for the STEP program. Last year was my first year with the SEED office and my first year with the STEP program. I have to admit, I had a lot of fun. The students that you see tonight, I am still very close to. I see them almost daily. So I'm very excited that they could join us. A little bit of background on me. I was actually a teacher for 17 years before I came to Virginia Tech. So I am very familiar with educational programs and prepping students to get ready for college. So I'm going to turn it over to Yasmin and let her introduce herself, and then I will turn it over to the students.
Hello, everybody. My name is Yasmin Becerra Montaño. I serve as the Assistant Director for the SEED undergraduate student programs. I am fairly new. I've only been here for a month, but I'm fairly new to SEED, not new to Virginia Tech, but new to SEED. And I will be overseeing the peer mentorship program for our incoming first-year students, as well as working along with Christina in the STEP program in the summer.
Okay, Nolan.
I'm Nolan. I'm a freshman right now at Virginia Tech. I'm a national security major. I was in the STEP program last year. Any more information I need to give, or is that it?
That's it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Keon.
Hello, I'm Keon. I was also a part of STEP last year, and I'm a engineering major, and I hang around Christina's office too much.
Austin.
Hello, my name is Austin. I'm currently deciding between the construction and management engineering and mechanical. I will also be one of your RAs this summer, so I'm excited.
Wow.
Very excited about that. Okay, and Miss Kayla.
Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm a freshman in biomedical engineering. I also did STEP last year, and I will also be your RA for this summer STEP.
So Austin and Kayla, as you heard, are going to be a couple of the RAs. So definitely we'll get to know them well. So what I'm going to do now is do the presentation on STEP, just share a little bit of information and kind of an overview about what STEP is, what it looks like on a daily basis. And then I'm going to give the students an opportunity to share some of their experiences and if they felt like it helped as they were transitioning into the fall semester. So students, you all can be thinking about that, whatever you want to say. And then we'll open the floor for questions. So give me just a second. Okay. And you'll have to bear with me as I tried to do this earlier and actually ended up logging myself out. So bear with me. So the STEP program, the acronym stands for Student Transition Engineering Program. The purpose of this program is to better prep students for their fall semester in engineering. I think any of the students that you would talk to that entered their fall semester will tell you it is very different than high school. Even if you were a very high achieving student, even if you come in with a lot of credits, there's an adjustment period that comes with being in engineering. This program is designed to help ease that transition into engineering for your fall semester and teach you what it's like to be an engineering student before you actually get to campus. So as I had shared previously, we did introductions. We're going to do just an overview of STEP. I'm going to talk about some of the the events and the benefits of coming to the program. And then one of the greatest things I think we have are the students who actually participated in STEP that are willing to join us tonight to answer your questions. I think they would be honest with you about their experiences. And so I'm very, very grateful to have them on with us tonight. So as Yasmin and I introduced ourselves, we will be the directors for STEP this coming summer. In addition to us, there are going to be 6 RAs. There will be 3 male RAs and 3 female RAs. One of those will be a head RA that will help kind of be a program coordinator. The RAs are mainly there to help if something happens in the dorm, something goes wrong, a sink doesn't work, something like that. They're also there on the evenings and weekends. We will have some social events planned for you. The other thing that I think the RAs serve kind of unofficially is they are engineering students. And so they've been through chemistry, they've been through engineering fundamentals, they've had multiple semesters of math. So in some ways they are there as kind of a sounding board or to help kind of point you in the right direction if you need something. So I think the RAs are a very valuable asset to the program in that these are students who are in engineering and definitely can provide some guidance and resources for you as you're both going through the program, but also as you're making that transition this fall. So kind of the program overview. STEP is for 5 weeks. It starts Sunday, June 23rd and ends Saturday, July 27th. This is open to any student that is accepted into the College of Engineering. There is also an opportunity for students who are accepted into another major at Virginia Tech who are interested in transferring into the College of Engineering. So this is for any student that would be interested in majoring in engineering at Virginia Tech. As I said before, the goals of the STEP program are just to provide a transition for you from high school to college. It is very, very different. The academic part is a big part of the STEP program, getting used to the academics, the workload, the schedule. But there's also a lot of other things that we do at STEP. And I think probably the biggest one, in addition to the academics, is building a sense of community. One of the things I was really impressed with last year is the community that was built among the students. And you can see the students that are on tonight, they literally hang out together every day. They are over at our office. There's a huge group of them. I think they stay in contact with each other, study together. So these are friendships that were built long before the students ever got to campus in the fall. And I think that can be really impactful. One thing you will probably learn about engineering is that you can't do it by yourself. So I think having a group around you is really, really important. Having mentors, faculty mentors, having people that you feel like you can go to. So that's one of the biggest objectives of STEP is just building that community of people who are going to be facing the same challenges that you are. We also do a lot of personal and professional development things. You'll get to see a lot of the offices on campus, the student resources that are available to you. We also do a lot of different activities. We do an etiquette dinner, which I'll talk about a little bit later. There's opportunities to meet and talk with faculty in small groups and one-on-one engineering faculty. So it's really geared to help you understand engineering as a whole, to prepare you for the academic rigor that you're going to face, but also to help you begin building those friendships and that community that will help support you throughout your time at Virginia Tech. So there are several different kind of facets to the program. One of them is the coursework. There are 3 academic courses that you will be taking, chemistry, there will be a math class, and then the engineering fundamentals class. The chemistry class is exactly the first 5 weeks of chemistry that you will get in the fall. The homework, the quizzes, the exams are very, very similar to what students would have, what you would be facing in the fall. I think the students that are on here can tell you it was very similar. Engineering fundamentals, again, will look very, very similar to what your fall would look like. Engineering fundamentals, which is engineering 1215, is required for all students. And so that's kind of a class where you get introduced to the various types of engineering, some programming through MATLAB, just different engineering design projects that you'll complete as a group. So both of those courses are set up exactly like the course that you would see in the fall. The third course that you will be taking is a math course. This year we are doing the math a little bit differently. In order to declare your major and in order to kind of move past those gateway courses, you have to pass Calculus 1. Some of you may be coming in with Calculus 1 credit. Some of you may have IB credit or AP credit, which is fine. If you do not come in with Calculus 1 credit, in order to qualify to take Calculus 1, you have to earn a qualifying score on the ALEKS exam. So as part of the program, we are looking at how we can better help prep students for math. So there's actually going to be 2 different facets to the math coursework. The math course, which is what you will take, will be a heavy focus on Calculus 1. Even if you are not prepared to take Calculus 1, or if you already have credit for Calculus 1, that decision was made to expose you to Calculus 1 concepts and or review them. Several of the students that came through the STEP program last year that I saw made the comment that even though they had Calculus 1, they weren't necessarily ready for the higher level maths. And so the purpose of having the Calculus 1 class for the coursework is to kind of review concepts you would need to know in the higher level maths, but for those who will be taking calculus, to expose you to those concepts that you're going to need to know. We are also going to have a separate ALEKS session for those students who are needing to take the ALEKS exam. That will be in the evenings. It will be self-paced, but there will actually be a math instructor that will work with you during that time to answer any questions that you have, to explain problems. That class or session, for lack of a better word, because it's not really a class, will only be an hour long. It'll be offered Monday through Thursday, just like the courses are. That will be an optional session, but you'll have an opportunity to sit down with somebody and actually work through the ALEKS modules to try to help prepare you for the ALEKS exam. While I am talking about the coursework and the ALEKS exam, you only need to take the ALEKS exam if you are going to need to take calculus in the fall. If you already have credit for calculus, then you wouldn't need to take the ALEKS exam. If you know that you're going to if you have a dual enrollment class. A lot of students don't know about the IB and AP scores, and because sometimes they can be later in the summer coming in. If you are planning on taking chemistry, if you have calculus credit already, that is a prerequisite for chemistry. So you wouldn't need to necessarily take the ALEKS exam if you already have that calculus credit for chemistry. So if you are needing to take Calculus 1, if you are planning on taking Calculus 1 in the fall, that is why you would need to take the ALEKS exam and score a qualifying score on it, which is an 80. So I just kind of wanted to mention, I know that's a lot of information at one time, but the 3 courses for STEP will be a math course, which will mostly be focused on calculus, a chemistry course, and then the engineering fundamentals. This year, we are adding the additional ALEX session for those that need it and those that wish to have a little bit of help as you're working through the modules and preparing for your ALEX exam. We do ask if you are interested in attending the STEP program that you only take the ALEX exam one time prior to coming. That is because we are offering these ALEX sessions to try to help you prepare. And then at the end of the STEP program, we will actually give you another opportunity, a proctored opportunity to take the ALEX exam. So I know that's a lot of information about coursework. I'm happy to answer questions after the presentation, but that's kind of the bulk of what the coursework is. We also have one of the neat things I think we do for this program, we have faculty lunches. We invite engineering faculty to come eat lunch with you in the dining hall. These will be 2 to 3 times a week, different faculty. We get aerospace and ocean faculty, computer science faculty, mechanical faculty, industrial systems faculty. They just come and sit with you. There's no transcript to what you talk about. It's them talking about what they love to do, why they are in their department, maybe their research, and it's an opportunity for you to ask questions to kind of get to know them. So you'll have lots of opportunity to do small groups with faculty lunches. We also offer, I had mentioned this earlier, the professional seminars. We have the Global Education Office come and talk about study abroad opportunities. We have Student Success Center come and talk about some of the programs that they offer. Hokie Wellness may come. I know we've had some of the cultural centers come and talk to the students about activities that they do, and faculty may also be a part of the professional seminars. It's a great way to meet faculty and perhaps get a foot in the door for faculty who are maybe looking for students to help in research labs. So that's something else we do. We do have industry events. GE Vernova, which is the energy sector of GE, will be coming on a Saturday to do a engineering design activity with you all. So engineers from GE will be there to help kind of walk you through the process. The lady, Mary Duncan, who leads the GE event, was a STEP student. She also participated in Hypatia while she was here at Virginia Tech. And so she loves Virginia Tech students. It's a great way to kind of get your foot in the door with GE and get some of the, get to know some of the GE engineers. We do have academic coaching sessions every Friday. Classes for STEP are Monday through Thursday, and then Friday is kind of our professional development day. And that day starts with academic coaching. So these are actually done with our graduate students in engineering. So the STEP students are divided up into small groups of 5 to 8 students, and they meet once a week with a grad student for an academic coaching session. Those academic coaching sessions are just all the things you need to know as a student that maybe nobody tells you. How do you study? How do you manage your time? What groups to join? How do you email a professor? How do you ask a question? Where do you go to look for help? So all of those things are talked about in small groups, kind of from the student perspective, which I think is great because all of these students have graduated in engineering. And so they have a lot of insight that they can share. And then the last thing we do is social events. There's lots of fun, cool social events. We do an etiquette dinner, which is a formal dinner where we talk about how to present yourself in a professional manner if you're at a work dinner. We have a lot of fun on July 4th. We do probably field games. Last year we did field games, ice cream, and fireworks. There were lots of movie trips. There were lots of basketball. So those social events, you can look at Austin and Kayla. They will be helping to plan those social events. So if there's something that you want to do, But we're really going to try to give you an opportunity to do some fun things around town. Yeah, and just kind of get to know each other. So I've kind of already talked about the coursework. Faculty seminars and lunches. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. The industry events with GE. And then the workshops and yeah. Okay. Benefits of the STEP program. One of the things I do want to talk about is with the STEP program, the courses that you take are not for credit. That is a huge difference between STEP and the Summer Start program. Summer Start does offer courses for credit. STEP does not. I know if you may be talking to some of the students, I think going into chemistry in the fall, knowing that you had already looked at a chemistry test and kind of felt the pressure for trying to do well was a benefit, because I think a lot of students, their eyes were kind of opened as to that first chemistry test, the first math test. So they had an opportunity to take those and not be penalized as far as grades were concerned. So I think that's one of the huge benefits of the program, is that you get to try it out. You get to see what the workload is like prior to coming to campus, or prior to your fall semester. Everything we do is geared toward what an engineering student needs. I think that's the biggest benefit of the program. We focus on the professionalism, the academic side, as well as the social side. And I will kind of let my students talk to that as we get there. So some of the logistics of the program. So the program does cost $3,000. The $3,000 is based on a financial need, and that's based on your FAFSA. I know there's been a lot of issues with FAFSA, but we look at your FAFSA to determine what it is that you're able to pay. So it can be anywhere from $500 to $3,000. The program runs from June 23rd to July 27th. You are not allowed to leave during the program. I know a lot of students, they have family vacations or trips or things planned. We do not allow students to leave the program for the duration of it. That doesn't mean that you can't leave for the day and come back. So we have a lot of students that their parents come to visit, they want to leave campus for the day and go somewhere. As long as you're back by the evening, that's fine. You can't be gone overnight. One of the other things I wanted to mention, we do have a lot of coursework in the STEP program, but there's also a lot of free time. If you choose to get your work done, not procrastinate, there's lots of things that you can do, and you are allowed to go off campus to Kroger or to the mall or wherever the bus system will take you. So you don't have to stay on campus, physically on campus, for the entire 5 weeks. And we do give you opportunities to leave, but you can't miss days of classes or a week of classes. You have to be there for the duration of the program. The other thing, the College of Engineering requires that your laptop has certain specifications to be able to run the software that's required for the classes. You will need a laptop that meets those requirements, particularly for the engineering fundamentals course, because you're going to be doing things like MATLAB. And so you'll need that software to be able to do your work. The College of Engineering does tell you exactly what engineering specifications you need for your computer, and there's a link there that you can check out. And I think the slide presentation will be linked, so you can have that. So just more logistics. The application deadline for STEP is Friday, May 31st. Our hope is to keep STEP around 75 students. That just helps us create a better community. If it gets much larger than that, we kind of lose the personalness. So definitely, if you're thinking about doing the STEP program, make sure that you get your application in. Acceptances will be notified by or the beginning of the program starts June 23rd, and then it ends July 27th. Sorry, everybody, my internet connection went down. I live in a rural area, so it's not always high speed. If you do have any questions, I will pop my personal email into the chat, as well as you can email the step at vt.edu. That comes directly to me. So feel free. I am happy to meet with you to talk. If you have a question that we don't answer tonight, you're welcome to send me an email, and I'll answer any questions that you have. So this is where I'm going to open it up to our students to talk a little bit about their experiences. I think I can talk to you and tell you all about the program, but I think it's much more impactful coming from the students who have been there, who have done it, and then who have survived their first year in engineering. So students who would like to go first.
Yeah, I mean, I can go first.
Okay.
So you just wanted me to speak to like my general STEP experience?
Yeah.
In short, probably the best decision I made so far in college. Just doing that program, it was really a game changer for me. Because I know everyone comes to college. Like the hardest part of college is the first week, right? Because you're there in a completely foreign environment, no clue where to go or where you are, right? But with STEP, I was really just able to get that out of the way beforehand. So then, I come back like a couple of weeks later, I'm like, oh, I got this. I know where this is. I've been in that room. And yeah, and like Christina says, well, the friend group as well. Really good. Like I talk to a lot of them daily. Always meet up in like the seed office and everything and do our work together. I had a bit of a unique experience, I will say, with STEP. Because for me, it kind of showed me that I didn't really want to do engineering as much. Which I think is kind of the beauty of it. Like it really helps show you what you want to do. I've had friends that like went into it thinking about like doing one type of engineering, and then like they were like, oh, maybe I'll do this type of engineering instead, right? Which I think is like one of the best parts about the program, just helping you figure out what you want to do and how to do it, I think. And yeah, and just along the way doing some really, really fun activities. I think I still think about the time I went to see Oppenheimer and Barbie back to back during the program, all like decked out in like in really nice clothes. Yes,
So
that was my
I will say for all of the people who are on the webinar, this year, because Barbie and Oppenheimer both came out at the same time, we did a huge movie day. It was like a 6-hour movie day, and they went to watch both movies. So
best experience of the summer by far. It was amazing.
okay, Kayla, would you like to share?
Yeah, sure. Barbenheimer was definitely awesome. Everybody either wore pink or like really professional clothing or both, and it was really cool. But my experience with STEP was a little bit different. I was a Pathway student. I don't know if you guys know what Pathways is, but it's another SEED pre-college program. So like I was there for 2 weeks last summer, but STEP was also at the same time the longest I had been away from my family. And so I definitely had experienced a lot of homesickness. And with like getting to know people and like with getting to have different friends is definitely really important, and I think STEP definitely helping with that. Just like Nolan, I think like STEP has been the best decision that I've made so far, going into college, because now I know at least 50 other people that I can go to when I need help with anything, and I talk to at least like 10 of them every day. Definitely one of the people who stay in Christina's office all the time. So that is super helpful. So definitely it's wonderful to get to know people. Like even now, like my roommate that I'm gonna have next year, we did STEP together. And you get really close with the people really quickly. Especially when it comes to academics for the chemistry part of it. I did really well in chemistry in high school, and so I thought I was prepared to come into chemistry in college. And I'm really putting myself out here, but for the first test, I got like a 43%. And it was definitely really humbling. And this was like with me going to office hours like every day. Um, so it was a bit of a struggle and kind of a shock factor because I'm a person who normally does really well on tests. But it definitely helps that it doesn't do anything to your GPA because you're not taking it for credit. And so the chemistry class really helped. And um, yeah, I would say you also doing stuff, you realize what's important in college. Another really terrible decision that I had made was that like in college you have to have like your dual mobile security. And during the like one of the last chemistry tests, I forgot my phone back at the dorm, and I couldn't like actually get into the test. So I had to run back to the dorm, then run back to the testing site, and it was like really stressful. So like doing stuff, you realize like the things that you need to do and like the routines you need to get into, and like what's important. So that's my experience.
And Kayla, I really do appreciate you being open and honest, because I think one of the big things with STEP is just understanding that it is a transition, and just because you were a very strong student in high school does not always mean that will translate to college, particularly. I think the pacing is very different, the workload is very different, and we can talk about it, but until you actually experience it, you don't really understand that. So, Keon, I'm going to come to you and just see what you want to share.
All right. I'll probably say the best part about STEP was all the friends I made. Like all my best friends right now are all the ones I met from STEP. Like for example, Austin and I went and saw Spider-Man 2 on Monday. I got a sick poster too. And definitely like the friends I made there were probably the best thing about STEP. And also I would say the chemistry class really did help. Like if if y'all have Candace for the fall, that will be very helpful because you already know what she's like and she knows you. She's gonna like you for just for doing step. She said that you're already on her favorites list if you do step. So she's gonna help you as much as she can. And we did have fun times. We all watched movies every night till like 1 a.m. Like I know a bunch of people never watched Transformers, so we all watched all the Transformers movies that Michael Bay made.
No,
We
dude, you
watched all
forced us to watch Transformers.
Okay, I know. I forced y'all to watch Star Wars. Aaron had never seen Transformers, so we needed to watch Transformers. So, yeah, probably the friends was the best part about Step, and I definitely don't regret. I don't regret doing Step. It was definitely the best decision I made in my college career. $3,000 was worth it.
Thank you, Keon. All right, Austin.
Saving the best for last. So I don't know about. I went through Pathways, so my step was paid for Kayla and I, because I know we both went to Pathways. I'd say like step was very like, I don't think I could have got through chemistry without step, to be honest, because like I already knew like what the first two tests were, so I didn't really study that much for them. I did fine on the first two tests. It's like the third and fourth where it starts to get really weird, but honestly, it's not. I don't think it's that bad. Math, that's crazy. Overstep, you will wonder what you are doing. I honestly, I was like, why are we using triangles to calculate the distance from Earth to the sun right now? I was so confused. But trust me, it is preparing you for what like class is like, because like there's no more worksheets, there's no more like getting you to understand. It's literally just lectures and going to office hours. That's all it is. There's no more like worksheets to make you understand it.
And Austin,
Um,
I don't mean to interrupt you, but one of the really good points that Austin brings up is the classes are structured different when you get to college. I think in high school you're kind of used to learning a concept, practicing a concept, and then you're tested on that concept. In college, you learn a concept, your homework is somewhat around that concept, digging deeper into that concept. A lot of times it's on you to learn that concept thoroughly. And then the test is definitely the application of the concept. And so I think that progression is very different than what you get in high school. And so I do think Austin brings up a good point in saying that classes are different. And definitely the STEP classes help better prepare you for the progression that you're going to see. The college courses also run much faster. There's a lot more material covered in a very short period of time. And I think that's another thing that kind of catches students off guard. So, Austin, I didn't want to interrupt you. Was there anything else that you wanted to share?
I mean, that's pretty much it. Also, the venture out. We're doing it. Yeah, we're doing it this summer. I'll be watching y'all because I'm not going up there again. I already did that. But don't be afraid to do it because honestly, it was really fun. I'm just not doing it again. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Also, let me provide a little background information. So one of the fun social activities that we do is the Venture Out High Ropes course at Virginia Tech. It has 3 different levels. And that was probably the most I laughed all summer. It was absolutely hysterical. And I do think Austin makes a very great point. Don't be afraid to try it. We had a lot of fun. It was definitely a team building exercise. So, but yeah, no, I really appreciate you all speaking up and willing to be honest with the attendees about what STEP is really like. I think from my perspective, and the last thing I'll say before I open it up for questions is the purpose of the program is to truly, truly prepare you for what you're going to see in the fall. There are hard days, but they're good days. We definitely try to provide the support that you need to get through the difficult things. But I think the students that have attended got a lot out of it. Not the least of which is just the community that they still have. Like I said, these are students that I see in my office every day. They see each other every day. They study together. I think that's probably the single most benefit of the program. So I would like to open it up to questions. If you have questions for the students, you can type them in the chat or raise your hand, and we'll just see what questions you have. I know there's no way I covered everything. Are there other questions that you would? Okay, we have a couple of hands raised. So, okay. Beth, can you unmute and ask your question?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. You try and limit the number of applicants. So how many do you typically get and how many are turned away?
So in the past few years, we haven't had to turn anybody away. But we do kind of caveat that with we want to keep the number about 75 just because it keeps the program more personable for the students to truly allow them to build that community. But we've gotten close to the cap, but we have not had to turn students away in the last couple of years.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Do we have other? All right. Forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong. Tianyu? Hugh?
Yeah, yes, correct.
Okay,
Hi, I'm an international student,
okay.
so I'm wondering, like after the STEP program, where should I stay in the campus?
So there will be a few weeks in between when the STEP program ends and the actual semester move-in starts. One of the things that we do for international students is we work directly with Cranwell International Center. They help provide all of the information and the transition for students, because I think it depends on your visa and the dates and all of that stuff. So if you do end up coming to STEP, one of the things I can do is kind of work with you to be a liaison to get in touch with the Cranwell International Center, and we would figure all of that out before you come. Sorry, I don't have a better answer.
Okay, thank you. Should I send an email to the International Center?
Yes, they're the ones that deal with international students and are most familiar with the processes, so they can probably give you much better advice than I can.
Okay,
But
thank you.
as an international student, you would want to reach out to them anyway, just to have the contacts over there, because they do help all international students with all the issues that come with that. So definitely reach out to them.
Okay, thank you.
Beth, your hand is still up, so I wasn't sure if you had another question.
Nope, sorry.
Okay. I just want to make sure we don't miss anybody. Okay. Are there any other questions that anybody has? Okay. All right. Tianyu, you can go ahead.
Yes, so I noticed there is a engineering track in Summer Start, and it also had calculus courses and engineering bases. So I'm just wondering what's the difference between the engineering track and STEP here.
So the difference between Summer Start and STEP is that in Summer Start, the classes that you take are for credit. So whatever grade you earn in those classes goes towards your Virginia Tech GPA. In the STEP program, the courses are not for credit. So you still do the work and you still take the tests and everything. Kind of gives you an idea of what the workload is going to be like, what the tests are going to be like, but it doesn't affect your GPA. So STEP courses are not for credit. Summer Start courses are for credit, and they do count towards your GPA.
Okay, thank you.
Very good question. We get that question a lot. I know a lot of some students in the past have asked just about, being there for the 5 weeks. It's, kind of right after you get out of high school. I will say, and I think I mentioned this before, that even though there is quite a bit of work with taking 3 classes, we also do recognize it's summer, and so we do try to plan a lot of fun things. There is some downtime that you can spend time with friends, can play games, um, kind of explore campus, explore town. So don't feel like if you make the decision to come to STEP that you're going to lose your whole summer. That's just not the case. The focus is on academics, but there is a lot of time to enjoy yourself and enjoy the students around you and begin to build those friendships too. Okay, do we have other questions that someone would like to ask or pop in the chat? Okay, so it's about 7:50. So we have about 10 minutes to spare. I will hang in the webinar room for a little while if there's somebody that had a more personal question that you would like to ask, or just anything that anybody would like to ask. But that's all I have for this evening. I want to thank Yasmin for coming on again. She's kind of a new addition to SEED, and I'm really excited to have her helping with STEP this summer. You all will be seeing her if you are in Hypatia and Galileo, and interacting with her. And I definitely want to thank the students because I think you all offered some great advice, definitely some personal stories. So, all right. So if you are welcome to leave. And like I said, I'll hang out for just a few minutes to see if anybody else has any questions. But thank you for coming.